Hey guys, want to show your support to the channel and get some awesome rewards at the same time? Then go check out my Patreon page where at whatever tier you choose that fits your budget, you'll get plenty of rewards such as updates and announcements on the regular, exclusive sneak peeks of my videos before they go up online, get yourself credited, and receive a special shout out at the end of my videos and more. Go to patreon.com/Ackleyattack427's to start pledging today. And don't forget to also check out and consider gifting me any items I have listed on my Amazon wishlist and even supporting me on my Streamlabs tipping page that'll also help support the channel directly. Links are in the description box below as well as on my link tree for you to check out. Thank you and enjoy today's video. Take care. Hey guys, like what we do on our channel and want to see more videos from us? Then not to worry about a thing. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as turning on the notification bell so that way you can see more of our videos coming up very soon. Thank you and enjoy today's video. Hey guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here with a brand new thoughts video for all of you guys, and yeah, I hope all of you guys have actually had a really great Father's Day this year for sure. So yeah, just getting yourselves out there and spending time with your dad as always. It really is quite a whole lot of fun for sure. So yeah, so I hope all of you guys have actually had a really great Father's Day for this year for sure. So yeah, I know on my part it's been quite busy pretty much on my part, hands down, especially with of course what we've been doing on of course this channel for sure. But needless to say, I'm here right now for today's thoughts video for sure, and well, it's hard to believe that we're getting close to nearly 400 thoughts videos for sure. I definitely need to start planning, of course, what to do for that occasion for sure, so that'll be interesting to see on how it'll go. But I guess right up until then, I think it's time that we get ourselves in with, of course, the latest movie that I finally got the chance to go see as of recently for sure, so yeah. And I guess, surprisingly enough, it has been about a couple months since I've actually talked about a little something from two animation dominant, hands down, of course, on my part for sure. So I think it makes sense to finally dive into them again, so yeah. And I guess it is quite obvious that after about 3 months since we've actually talked about their previous film that they just released for sure, I think it looks like we're down to do that again, hands down, so yeah, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, yes, I think it's time that we venture back out to Disney once again for sure, but more particularly a little something not just from Disney, but their well-known animation partner that they've been working with for several years now, Pixar, So yeah, you definitely heard it right there, folks. I think it's time, once again, that we talk a little something from both Disney and Pixar for sure, so yeah. That's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. And, well, I guess it's after a few months ago, yeah, pretty much it's after a few months ago since we've talked about their previous film that we talked about not too long ago, which is, of course, on Hoppers. Really great movie, by the way. Definitely go check my thoughts video on that. I think it is actually quite fitting that I should talk about another Disney and Pixar movie for sure, So yeah, and you know me, hands down, much like with the main stuff that Disney has actually been releasing in terms of animation, I always look forward to a brand new Pixar movie every single year for sure. And I guess in the case of this year, hands down, I think we're up for round 2, hands down, so yeah, I think that's probably what I can say, of course, that front, and I guess that would lead to the ultimate question. What could be a really great way to pretty much get ourselves in with, of course, another movie given to us from Pixar? Well, surprisingly enough, I think think it actually involves a few things, hands down. It is, of course, another sequel to a well-known movie franchise that put them on the map for sure. And, of course, they center around a bunch of toys. Yeah, I think that would get you the idea, of course, what I'm talking about for sure. And surprisingly enough, it is, of course, the subject of course, the movie I'm reviewing here today. So yeah, if you couldn't tell right now, I think it's time that we pretty much get our toys once again for sure. But mainly for the 5th time around, and yes, 5th time as we speak. By diving into, of course, the latest movie that we actually got to see very recently, which is none other than Toy Story 5. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Not only is this the latest film that just came out not too long ago, but it's also the long-awaited 5th installment in probably one of the most recognizable movies that we all know of from Pixar animation, which is, of course, well, Toy Story. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alrighty then, well, I guess before going into this latest movie, I think it makes sense to brush myself up, of course, well, Toy Story as a whole. So yeah, what can I say about Toy Story that a lot of people haven't already for sure? So yeah, I guess pretty much for what it is, Toy Story for sure is definitely the one movie that you think of hands out if you think of some really well-known Pixar movies that we all know of for sure. So yeah. And literally, I guess, if pretty much of anything, you cannot think of Pixar without mentioning Toy Story as a whole for sure. And yeah, pretty much ever since it first came around, it's still being celebrated as, of course, not only one of the best animated films of all time for sure, but it's definitely the movie that actually got Pixar right on the cinematic map, hands down, especially with tons of help from Disney for sure. So yeah, I guess pretty much everything that is said about Toy Story for sure definitely needs no introduction, with not only a really great story, interesting characters, animation that yeah, I guess was pretty much a little dated back in the day, but still turned out great, and of course some clever writing with, of course, some dialogue that is very modern for sure. And I take back on what I said about the animation. It definitely is great for a 1995 pretty much cinema for sure. And yeah, and everything else about Toy Story for sure. Yeah, I guess pretty much of anything. It's a wonder why it's still a really great movie back then, and even nowadays for sure. So yeah, everything about Toy Story really is well worth it, hands down. And even after it first came out, it's still being celebrated even to this day. I should know, I guess surprisingly enough, pretty much the first Toy Story movie is definitely just as old as I am, for sure. So yeah. So yeah, you're definitely hearing right there, folks. I guess it is safe to say that I am definitely as old as the first Toy Story for sure. So yeah. So I guess pretty much for what it is, Toy Story really is quite the movie that is definitely well worth checking out for sure. And I know older fans like myself really enjoyed it, and even a new generation is being introduced to it for sure. And yeah, all that sort of stuff from what I can gather for sure. So yeah, given to all of that, it's no wonder why Toy Story is still a really great movie back then, and even nowadays for sure. Like, I can even say the same thing for the following films that came right around afterwards, for sure. The second film, Toy Story 2, is a really outstanding sequel that really is on par like the first film, hands down. And of course, the third film is still absolutely really great and definitely really emotional as well, for sure. And of course, some of the other films that we actually got pretty much later on afterwards is that, well, I guess if you may recall, years ago, I did talk about Toy Story 4 and Lightyear for sure. Back pretty much when I did my thoughts videos years ago, for sure. And, well, for the fourth film, I can't say it's probably the one movie that is absolutely needing for sure, but I do think it's actually pretty good. And not to mention, pretty much the spin-off movie Lightyear, I really didn't think it's that bad for sure, so yeah, but that's at least what I can say, of course, that front, but yeah, needless to say, yeah, if you actually ask someone, of course, pretty much, if anything revolving around Pixar, you know hands down that you cannot mention Pixar without mentioning Toy Story as definitely one of them for sure. So given to all of that, and even looking back, the first Toy Story movie really is still being celebrated, and definitely the first film to actually revolutionize computer animated feature films, which is still going on nowadays for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. So yeah, I think it is quite nice to see that Toy Story is still being celebrated and given to the pretty much computer animated movies that we've actually been getting back then to nowadays, for sure. We owe our thanks to Toy Story for doing exactly that, for sure. So yeah, so of course, pretty much of anything, when I heard the news that they were going to be doing a fifth film, from what I've actually heard, yeah, I guess a lot of us were a little conflicted on the hag, as of course is one of those sequels that is not needed, hands down. In fact, I think you're better off just ending at 3 and don't go beyond that, for sure. But when I heard the news about some of the ideas that they actually presenting for sure, I actually got myself quite curious to see on how it's going to go for sure, and they definitely justified that quite well when they showed off the trailers for that same movie. So yeah, I knew right away that I'm actually quite curious to see on how it's going to go for sure, and how they're going to be able to pull this off. So, luckily enough, I did manage to get myself in to officially go and see this movie for myself, all thanks to the kind people at Crown City Cinemas as always, so yeah, and well, now that I've got back from, of course, seeing this movie, I guess a lot of you guys may be wondering, what do I think of this movie now that I finally got the chance to see it? Well, I guess it is as expected. Don't question me on, of course, that front. I really enjoyed this movie a whole lot, so yeah, I guess pretty much for what I've actually seen by far, yeah, I am biased for actually seeing it, so yeah, call me a fanboy, call me overhyping and overpraising this movie, I don't care. This movie is absolutely really a great hands out, and I am I'm really amazed with, of course, what they actually did for sure. So yeah, I guess there is no big surprise. I really enjoyed this movie a whole lot for sure. It really kept up with the new themes and ideas that they actually presented quite well, while still keeping the love and spirit of Toy Story still going for sure. Much like all the other movies that we actually got for sure. So yeah. It's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Alright then, well, now that I've actually got the introduction out of the way, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about everything that I need to talk about for sure, or I guess in this case, pretty much now that I got the short version out of the way, yeah, I think I'll go ahead and go over each aspect as normal for sure. So I guess for starters is, of course, the story. And yeah, I guess with what I've actually seen by far, I really do like the story that they actually presented. Of course, this one just basically from what I've actually seen, they really want to showcase the idea of course, technological devices and stuff like, of course, phones, tablets, and everything, trying to take over, of course, pretty much some kids' attention, which takes away on the idea of course, pretty much the one thing I and alongside everyone else did back when they were kids, which is, of course, well, playing with toys. And yeah, I really do think they really presented the idea quite well, hands down. It is structured out quite well from what I've actually seen, and I do follow through with, of course, what they actually have going for, hands down, with all these themes and ideas that they actually want to utilizing for sure, while still keeping, of course, what makes the idea of Toy Story all the more great. Really actually got me hooked on, hands down, and I'm impressed with what they actually got pretty much literally on the screen for sure, and yeah, I do think they did the story quite well from what I've actually seen, and I do think it is actually really quite interesting for sure. It is quite nice for me to see follow through all the way. And there was never one moment where, of course, it stops to focus on another thing that kind of derails it all the way. No, it actually kept the flow going for sure, with a few additional subplots that help tie everything all together for sure. And I really do think they did do an impressive job, of course, that front. So yeah, and of course, for the writing, I have to say, I will admit, I really do think the writing in this film is actually crafting out pretty well. Yeah, I think with what they actually got written down on paper, sure, yeah, there might be a few bumpy parts that I do kind of wish they could have fixed up, but the rest from what I've actually seen really is actually quite impressive, and I really love the way they actually crafted out for sure to really make this all the more gripping, hands down, and I do think it is actually really quite nice for sure, and a few bits of comedy that they actually dig through into it as an added bonus. I really do think the comedy in this film is actually quite nicely done for sure, and yeah, I guess for what it is, I do think pretty much I did get a really good amount of chuckles had some of the pretty much gags and jokes that they actually did, and even the nice callbacks to some of the earlier films that we actually got. I won't give away, of course, what happens for sure. You just have to see the movie for yourself in case you want to know for sure. So yeah, so I guess with all those aspects that I've actually mentioned, I really love, of course, what they actually did to really make this all the more pretty much all the more gripping and exciting and interesting for sure. And this movie, yeah, like I said, does have a few bumpy areas from what I've actually seen, but I do think it is actually really quite impressive all the way, and it's literally why I think of when, of course, when I want something that definitely has the look and the feel of the earlier Toy Story movies for sure. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alrighty then, well, now that we actually got those out of the way, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about the next couple of things that I need to talk about for sure, to which next up is, of course, the characters. And yeah, I guess with what I've actually seen by far, we all know the characters from Toy Story for sure. I mean, who doesn't, hands down? So I guess for the sake of the characters and, of course, this movie from what I've actually seen, I really really do think the characters are given such a really great development all the way to really make them likable and interesting, and I am really fascinated with, of course, each and every single one of them for sure, and I did end up rooting for them all the way for sure throughout the entire course of the movie for sure. So yeah, I guess pretty much, if anything, I really do think they really did an impressive job with the characters for sure. Like of course, pretty much as always, like in all the other films, you definitely have that strong dynamic from, of course, Woody and Buzz Lightyear for sure. But I think what really drives this movie all the way in terms of the characters is that it actually focuses more on, of course, pretty much Woody's partner, Jesse, for sure, and like I said, I won't give away, of course, what actually happens, but I will say, pretty much for one thing that they actually did explore upon Jesse that occurred in the second film might actually have been expanding a whole lot in, of course, this film for sure. Like I said, I won't give away, of course, what happens for sure. Yeah, as of course, I don't like giving away spoilers for sure. But I'm sure if you actually see the movie for yourself, you'll see what I mean, hands down. So yeah, literally, I guess, pretty much of anything, this movie really wanted to give the focus mainly on Jesse for sure, and I really do love the nice approach that they actually did, hands down. Yeah, pretty much of anything, if you want to keep pretty much the love and spirit of Toy Story alive, you can definitely do that, but also expand upon it with, of course, some characters that we know in the previous films that definitely deserve their own story for sure. I mean, hey, these movies are called Toy Story for a reason, so yeah. But that's literally what I can say for the characters for sure. I really do think they really did a bang-up job with, of course, each and every single one of them, and I really do root for them all the way. Now, as for the actors that came on board to play all these characters, yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that had pretty much some familiar faces from the previous films with some new additions they actually added in. Yeah, I will say the actors definitely pulled off some really great performances all the way, as of course, I really do love the amount of time. Yeah, pretty much time and effort they did to really invest in their performances all the way, and I really do think it is actually really quite nice for sure. I think each and every single one of them by far really gave it their all, and I am impressed with what they actually did. And like I said, seeing how I did mention a few of the main characters earlier, yeah, I guess there's no doubt in my mind that, much like all the other films, I really do think Tim Allen as Buzz Lightyear, Tom Hanks as Woody, and of course Joan Cusack as, of course, Jesse, really drives this movie all the way, and I'm impressed with what they actually have provided for sure. So yeah. I mean, hey, I guess pretty much of anything. You can't have Woody, Buzz, and Jesse without, obviously enough, Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, and Joan Cusack as a whole, so yeah, but that's at least what I can say, of course, that front. So yeah, like I said, I am really impressed with what they actually did with the characters to give them more development, hands down. And I really do think all the actors that came on board still really gave off such really great performances all the way, and I'm impressed with what they actually did, hands down. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alrighty. Alrighty then, well, now that we actually got those two out of the way, what else is there for me to talk about? Well, quite a whole lot, actually, to which, seeing how this is pretty much an animated film from Pixar for sure, I definitely should talk about, well, the animation, and And yeah, I guess there's no doubt in my mind that much like all the other Pixar films, I really do think the animation in this film is absolutely outstanding for sure. Literally from what I'm actually seeing, I really do think they gave off such really great animation as always to really make you feel like you really are in the world of Toy Story for sure. With not only such really great designs that they did with the characters for sure, that I really do think is actually quite nice. To even some of the nice backgrounds and scenery that they actually created to really immerse, of course, pretty much the entire world of course, the movie for sure. To even some nice detailing that they actually did, and even some nice colors as well to really give off some really great vibes, hands down. That I really do think is actually really quite nice. So yeah, I am really digging on what they did with the animation for sure, and I'm impressed with what they actually did. Of course, all those hands down. So yeah. Yeah, I guess that's probably what I could say, of course, that front. So yeah, I guess there's no doubt in my mind that the animation in this film really is actually quite amazing for sure. And with all those I've actually mentioned, I think it really does show exactly that. And I can make the same argument for, of course, the production design, of course, that front. So yeah, I know I've actually mentioned everything revolving around the animation. But also, I think the set pieces to some really incredible lighting as well really does pretty much blend in everything that goes on, and even the visuals and the effects that goes along with it to once again blend in with the film's surroundings for sure. I really do think is actually really quite nice from what I've actually seen, and I do think they really did a spot-on job, and of course all those for sure. So yeah. And I guess it is still quite obvious for me to mention that because, well, I know with every single Pixar movie that they actually have done for sure, they really want to pull off such a hard-working effort for sure, and it really does show in, of course, this movie as a whole. So yeah. That's pretty much what I can say for everything revolving around the production design for sure. Now, as for the directing, yeah, pretty much the direction in this film that is given to us from longtime Pixar, pretty much a longtime Pixar director for most of the other films, which is Andrew Stanton. Yeah, I guess I knew having him on board really is actually quite nice, and he really is on his A-game directing this movie as a whole for sure. I can tell there is a great amount of hard-working effort to really try to make this movie work quite well from what I've actually seen, and it really does show, of course, all those from what I've actually seen. So yeah. So I guess pretty much for what it is, hands out, I really do think Andrew Stanton really is on his A-game directing this movie as a whole, and I'm impressed with, of course, what he's actually done for sure. And of course, the cinematography, I will say, that too alone is also worthy of recognition, as it is really actually quite amazing to actually look at, with some really great camera shots that they actually did to really make pretty much everything in this movie look great, and I'm impressed with what they actually did, hands down. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. And of course, the A-ing I have to say, that too alone is done miraculously quite well from what I've actually seen, as of course it is cut up perfectly with some really good cuts that I really do think work quite well to the film's advantage for sure, and not to mention for the fact that it even goes along with the film's pacing as well, which I really do think is actually flowed down quite well from what I've actually seen, and I really do think it is actually quite quite nice to actually look at for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. I could go on and on, of course, other things, hands down, but I guess given to all of those, I think it will give you the idea on how much I really enjoyed this movie as a whole. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Okay, I guess I'm done with that. Alrighty then, well, I guess with all that said and done, that's pretty much everything that I can say about this movie as a whole, so yeah. But yeah, I think that will kind of get you the idea. So yeah, overall, Toy Story 5 is definitely not just an outstanding sequel for sure, but I really do think it is also a very charming and yet very heartfelt movie that really wants to keep the love and spirit of course, the other movies that we actually got, but also want to bring something new and inventive at the same time, which, yeah, actually resulted in a very outstanding and yet charming and heartfelt sequel, hands down, let alone a very charming and heartfelt movie as a whole. So yeah, literally, I guess everything that I've actually mentioned by far really is actually quite nice to actually look at for sure, and they really nailed it on the head with what they've actually provided for sure. So yeah, this movie actually really got me hooked on all the way, and it really pretty much drives me to really see where they'll go next for sure, and with every single minute that actually goes by, I didn't want it to stop. I wanted to see more of that, hands down. So yeah, I guess pretty much for what it is, I really do think this movie really is actually quite impressive, hands down, and I'm really glad that I actually got to witness it for sure, as it really did deliver, of course, its promise, and I really had a great time with, of course, this one for sure. And if you were to ask me if I had to choose between either the fourth film or this latest one that we actually got, I would definitely prefer Toy Story 5 a whole lot more than Toy Story 4. I mean, yeah, I still really like Toy Story 4, don't get me wrong, but I really do think Toy Story 5 really excelled a whole lot more in my opinion, and I felt that it's probably a little something that the fourth film could have done in the first place for sure. So yeah, but that's at least what I can say, of course, that front. So yeah, I guess pretty much for what it is, I'm really impressed with what they actually did, hands down, and I'll be quite curious to see on where they'll go from here if they do actually make a Toy Story 6 later on down the road. But we'll have to wait and see, hands down, because, well, we can't fully guarantee that, so. But yeah, I guess for what it is, given to what I've actually mentioned, yeah, I really enjoyed this movie a whole lot, and yeah, I do highly recommend checking this one out for sure. So yeah, I guess pretty much for what it is, I definitely say Toy Story 5 is definitely well worth the recommendation on my part, hands down, and I really do think that it really is actually definitely the movie that you most certainly do not want to miss for sure. So I guess if that's something up your alley, pretty much for what it is, then I say definitely check this one out for sure. Yeah, pretty much for what it is a fantastic movie for what it is, and, well, pretty much to quote the ever popular song from that same movie done by Randy Newman for sure. Yeah, I guess it is safe to say that much like all the other Toy Story movies, this latest one that we actually got is still guaranteed to say to yourself that you most certainly got a friend in need. So, but yeah, I think you could kind of get the idea, of course, that front. So, but yeah, I think that's probably the best way I can put it. Much like all the other Toy Story films for sure, this latest one that we actually got is still worth the recommendation on my part. And of course, it is one that is pretty much worth actually saying that you most certainly got a friend in me. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. So yeah, for my final score, yeah, I guess it is very deserving of it for sure. So I'm going to give Toy Story 5 an outstanding 9.5 out of 10 for sure. Yeah, like I said, I really enjoyed every moment in this movie, hands down, from what I've actually seen. And I really do think that this is something that not only longtime Toy Story fans would definitely check out for sure, but I know newer generations that are starting to get into these movies would definitely have a ball with, of course, this one as a whole. So yeah, I guess it is safe to say that much like Hoppers, looks like it's another W for, of course, Pixar for sure. So yeah, I guess either way, I really enjoyed this movie a whole lot, and I do encourage a lot of people to check this one out for sure. So yeah, it's guaranteed to say that pretty much I guess for what it is as a whole, Toy Story 5 is definitely the movie that is worthy enough to actually go infinity and beyond. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alrighty then, well, I guess with all that said and done, that's pretty much everything that I can say about this movie as a whole. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this latest thoughts video, and well, I might as well turn it over to you guys. What do you think of Toy Story 5 if you've actually seen it for yourself? Do you absolutely really enjoyed it like I did, and think it's actually pretty much on there, much like all the other films that we got before? Or do you absolutely hate it and think Pixar should just leave Toy Story alone and not make any more movies on it? Or are you somewhere in between where you think it's just passable for what it is? So yeah, let me know what you thought of this movie down in the comments down below. I'm quite curious to see what you guys think. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Thank you guys so much for watching this latest thoughts video, and yeah, looks like another win for Disney and Pixar for sure. So yeah, I guess now that we actually got that done, I'll be quite curious to see what Pixar will have provide next for their next film that we're going to be getting later on down the road. Not sure when exactly, but I think we've got some time to figure some things out. But I guess until that actually happens, well, I guess like I said, we still got a long ways to go till we reach 400 thoughts videos for sure. So I think I might have time to maybe get out like maybe 2-3 more of these pretty much beforehand. Yeah, I think I've got some time to figure it out for sure. So yeah, gonna be pretty much a long road for sure, but I'll be quite curious to see what I'll talk about for sure. But I guess until then, yeah, I might as well brush myself up for the next movie that I'll actually go see pretty much later on down the road. So yeah, I guess until then, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Special thanks to all of my supporters on Patreon for making today's video possible, including my top tier supporters for this month, VD and Sam Shepard. So if you want to be like these guys and show your support to us, then go to patreon.com/Ackleyattack427TV to pledge now, do so, and get some awesome rewards within your budget. Hey guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Feel free to like, comment, and share if you enjoy what you're seeing. If you like what you see here and want to see more videos coming up, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and switch on the notification bell to get notifications, and select all notifications to be notified for when we post a new video. And don't forget to switch on notifications on your phone as well. Also, don't forget to check out my second channel and our 2-member channel with Sam the Thomas Fan 1, SamAttack4427TheThomasFan1 Productions for plenty more content you can't find on here. You can check both of our channels out with the links or by our handles provided on screen. Feel free to shoot me an email with my email address provided, Ackleyattack4427's@hotmail.com, if you want to ask me a question, want to collab with me for a project you've got in the works, or if you want to book me to be featured for a convention coming up. Follow me on my social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up to date with me on updates, announcements, and new releases of my videos, as well as plenty of others I've got with my handles provided, as well as the links down in the description box below. Also, don't forget to follow me on TikTok for other videos I've got aside from the ones I've posted on YouTube, and on Twitch for any future live streams I've got coming up soon, as well as join our official Discord server to see what we've provided. If you wish to show your support to me, then feel free to check out my Patreon to get sneak peeks of my videos coming up before they go up online, as well as getting access to updates and plenty more in addition to getting some awesome rewards within your budget. Also, don't forget to check out and show your support to me on my wishlist on Amazon, and even supporting me at streamlabs.com/AckleyattackTV/tip that you can find in the description box below, as well as on my Twitch page. And in case you can't find any of the links that are provided, then not to worry about a thing. All the links and stuff are also provided on my link tree that you can also find in the description box below, as well as a few selected number of my social media pages. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be sure to see you in the next video. Take care.